everyone. Today we'll be talking about Azure AI, and most all of us are aware about the term AI, right? And Azure is always a market leader when it comes to the cutting edge technologies. So there had been many channels from Azure developer community on Azure AI, and this is the next part. So I would be not talking about the basic AI things or what can you do. The most of us know what is there. So today we have picked up a very niche topic on Azure AI for market and entertainment. So without wasting any time, let's go forward. Like before going forward to the next slide, I would like to ask that most of the people are from the software or the IT industries, and if you are engineers writing some code, you must be very familiar with GitHub Copilot, which is the very famous tool by GitHub, which has been taken over by Microsoft. So we all know that Copilot is a very fantastic tool for for code generation, test cases writing, documentation, asking the features, bug fixes, hot fixes, and n number of things which we can do. Also, they have actions and whatnot. Complete CI/CD infrastructure is there, so that's a very fantastic thing when it comes to software engineering. But now, today, I would like to introduce you to Copilot for Azure. This is a really interesting concept which has been brought up by Azure. That now you have Copilot for the Azure. Now you don't need to be a complete expert to start with the Azure or not. You don't need to go through the traditional ways where you are going through the documentations and learning each and everything, which could be little tedious and more time taking. Instead, you can go to Copilot. One more fascinating thing is that Copilot is not a simple model or a simple LLM which has been trained with a certain amount of data and now it's static and you can go and ask questions. No, it is dynamic, and I will tell you why. First of all, let's understand what exactly the Copilot is in the documenting terms. It is an intelligent assistant designed to help you with design, operate, optimize, and troubleshoot your Azure environment. It's your buddy to help you out. Plus, the thing which I was telling, it's not static. Copilot is aware of a very live data which your Azure is having, the complete subscription which you are having. It has the access to resource graph and the real time service telemetry. You can go and ask a very customized query. I'll give you an example. Like we all know that there is a very basic service known as virtual machines in our cloud. So the person can go and ask, can you tell me how many numbers of virtual machines are running on this subscription where the tag is department name equals to finance. So this is a really penetrated query which you are giving to the Azure, and now it's going there. First of all, it is understanding the query, and then it is going accessing the real time data and then giving you the fruitful output. Now you do not need to go and navigate through 3 to 4 or 5 6 UI designs of the Azure. You can directly come up, ask your question, it will generate a query. There itself it will give you the option to run this query and the output is there. How easy is it? You do not need to go anywhere. You can ask anything to the Azure, like how should I go with this? What is the standard practice? I want to spin this up. What should be my security groups? What should be the key? Should I go with username or something, or should I go with the SSH keys, or should I go with the PEM keys and whatnot? So these are some of the things you can optimize. Like these are the my machines. Can you please tell me how can I optimize? How can I save more cost on this thing? And it will analyze your environment at that time, and with the best practices, the best suggestions which had been there prevailing there for a long time, which are stable, it will come up, compare both these things, and then give you real time metrics that this is what you should do and you can do. So this is a very fantastic feature which I loved about Copilot. Now next slide is something about the architecture of Azure Copilot. So first of all, very very basic thing, Copilot front end. This is similar to every page. Everything has a front end. Front end is really required. And now, what exactly I mean by front end? It's a UX, or you can say a window like something where you can go and start your chat, which we have seen with most of the websites. Now, when you give your chat can be of chat, code block, form, or many other thing are there. First of all, you give that chat, then that chat has been taken and then it goes to orchestration layer and it is processed. That what exactly is the response, what exactly user wants to do. It does the sentimental analysis, the processing, what is the thing which has been told, understanding the context and giving the response back. Now you must be wondering then what is the use of infrastructure, AI infrastructure here. The use of AI infrastructure is, first of all, the AI infrastructure contains all the data regarding all the learned and the documentation things of the Azure and many other things which we know. So when the things has been analyzed by the orchestration, it uses the AI infrastructure to get the things. Like, let's say you told that, okay, tell me the VM. So now it will go and understand what exactly is VM. Now it will go that, okay, VM's data is in the KQL query. So I will generate the query accordingly to give you the answer. So this was from the architectural perspective of the Azure AI. Now let's move. Yeah, one more thing I forgot, that this AI infrastructure is open house, produced by Microsoft on top of Azure AI, which Azure OpenAI, which I am going to talk in the next slide. This is Azure OpenAI. Now, what exactly Azure OpenAI is, that Microsoft has its own studio for AI. It is termed as Azure AI Studio. You can go there. You must go there and check. Now there might be a use case when the company says that, okay, we all know that there are prevailing models, LLM models, and the most common ones which have been used are, first of all, ChatGPT 3.5, which everyone uses. It's free of cost. Just we can log into the system and start querying or asking questions and all those things. So now, but there is one hindrance in that. It's a static model. It was trained up to the model, up to the data present on 2021 year 2021. After that, if you'll ask what is the current scenario, I do not have the answer. Then we have a latest model, ChatGPT 4, and the most recent model is ChatGPT 4o, where you can upload the PDFs and all those things to understand. But we all know that this Microsoft has integrated ChatGPT 4 with Edge, the browser which is there, and similarly it contains the data of all over the internet, but I don't want that the data of all over the internet is not useful for me. What I want is very customized. So okay, you need not to worry. You just can go to the Azure Open AI, and there it provides you with the studio. You can give customized prompts. What is the requirement? What exactly are the problems which you are facing? What is the data on which you want to train? And if you are a chat gpt or if you are a machine learning expert, you must be familiar with many terms, like the model is hallucinating, there are, it is over predicted, overfitted, and all these are the problems. So for them as well, it's not a general that you have provided the data and it is doing whatsoever it needs to be. Yes, there are options for that as well, for the quick start guides. Like I'm not a very you know uh, techie person when it comes to machine learning or artificial intelligence, and I don't have much of the time that I learn about what is Hugging Face model, what is naive Bayes algorithm, and what is other random forest algorithm, and then I put my data algorithm, all those things. I can directly present the data, give it will run all the schemes and will come up with the best model, that this is the model which is the I have trained it, and this is giving the most effective answer. You can use this model for your purpose, for the future prediction and all those things. So this is as super as this, and let's go and talk about some of the most famous features of Azure OpenAI. For what all things can you as an individual or as an enterprise can be used? First, when it comes to is content creation. Content creation can be divided into two parts. One is images and one is writing. Content writing is something that content writing is very simple. We all know what all are the things when it comes to the content creation. You give it the context that this is the thing and this is what I want, so it gives you a pretty decent content written, and that too with multiple options. Now we all are familiar with Delhi. It's a very famous tool when it comes to image generation. If you are a UX developer, if you are a UI developer, you want that I need some crazy graphics. Now it's not the age of traditional era where the websites are looking boring or something like that, but I want something crazy, that whenever a person comes to my website, he must be it must give a very interesting reputation for my brand or my company or my enterprise. So now you can go to Delhi and ask, give me some kind of images which I can put as a text in the UI and all those things. So these tools are available, customizable in the Azure AI Studio. One must go and check, not only the software engineers but for UI UX designers. And plus this has been taken care of, that the person need not to be a very much informative person when it comes to the cloud computing or when it comes to the Azure. The things are very simple. Second is data grounding. I have marketing teams, they want me the data. Okay, this is the data you have given to me. Now the days are gone where we used to get the data from many networks and we used to load it into the Excel, and then we used to run simple bar graphs, pie charts, and all those things, and it would take weeks or 2 or 3 for more big data sets for getting the predictions or for getting the real output. Now, in today's scenario, you can attach multiple data pipelines that, okay, these are 5 to 10 places from where my data is coming, and these all are the things. I will inject all that data into one place in the Azure OpenAI, and it will generate me insightful, it will give me very insightful things. Okay, this is your revenue, this is your sales, how you can increase it, what is the accuracy with, and that too not with, generally that this can be done, that can be done. With proper data driven approach, you can get these insights with a better accuracy than what you could have done on prem as well. It saves you, first of all, the upfront cost. The second, you do not need to have a very, a very experienced and an informative person. Obviously experience cannot be removed from the industry, but what I'm saying is that your work will not get hindered if there is things, or there are many projects which are open source, or I am a developer. Now I might not have the bandwidth to connect with a very expert person that, okay, what should I do, how should I approach, I can use this thing, and it will generate me very beautiful presentations and insights for what exactly are the things on my data. Third, and the very common use case which we have seen almost with every website which is having a product or service, is conversational AI. We have seen this on each and everything, whether it be IRCTC, HDFC, any other thing. In any vertical or in any horizontal, we have AI generated bots, question and answers. And then we just give, okay, this is my problem, this is my sentiment, I want this thing. And it gives you the answer, it gives you the things. Now I'll give you a very specific use case that we have a lot of tickets and we have a lot of merchants coming in, and we want to give them the answer. Now if human will do each and everything, it is humongous task, and the amount of tickets big techs are getting is huge. Also it takes lots of effort to do the things, but if it can be integrated and each and every organization is working towards generative AI for all these things, the problem can be reduced. We can focus on more complex tasks rather than the redundant task. Okay, why is this not being activated, when will it be? Most of the questions are repetitive, those can be answered, right? One major thing, now this is not just simple a chatbot which can chat with the things, but it can take action on behalf of humans. I'll give you a very interesting example. Let's say there is a company which has some kind of accounts or maintains some kind of balance for whatsoever reason. Now I as a customer go, okay, I want to understand. I first of all go there, I say, okay, hi, I am this. It will ask me some questions. Okay, what is your name, what is your mobile number, what is your ID, or something like that. And that data is completely safe. We'll talk about the security aspect just after this. When I have given the things to identify myself, okay, I am this person, now I can ask him the question, okay, what is my current balance? So now you must be thinking, then how will it get the data at present, at this moment? The AI has developed to such an extent that now it can take actions on behalf of humans as well, that it can call an API. Now a human do not need to go to a dashboard and give the merchant ID and get the data. Now AI can directly call this API with this payload. Okay, this is the merchant ID, query from the database or query from wheresoever the data is kept, and give me the data, that what exactly is the current bank balance of this person. Now when it comes to AI, everyone is like, okay, what will happen, what will be the thing, what will happen, is my data secure, what if something gets wrong? So it can, first of all, this is being taken care by big techs, that your data is not being stored, the confidential things are not being taken into the things to train, those have been removed. All these things have been taken into the consideration. Third, now OpenAI or AI models, Azure AI models also provide you the feature that you can try and train them or build them in such a manner that they can help you with the fraud detection and the cyber security perspectives as well. A human cannot sit every time in front of it or cannot monitor thousands of merchants. I'll give you an example. Like, let's say there's a merchant and suddenly, earlier the transaction amounts which were happening from that merchant were around, let's say, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, and suddenly there was a transaction of 1 crore, which was not there in the last 6 months. So that is a thing which might raise a concern. So it might go unnoticed uh, when it comes to the manual procedure or the auditing, when it will be covered when the audit happens or something like that. But if we have AI or something, it can check that, okay, if this is happening, this is the data, and according to this is a very significant change. Okay, this has been 20 times the data has been the amount transacted was 20 times the average amount from the last 6 months. So this the ticket can be raised immediately and it can be escalated to the finance team or the agents, and they can contact the consumer whether this was a genuine task, whether this was a fraud, or this was done by you, or and get the clarities. If everything goes fine, it can be closed. It might give an extra effort, but yes, it builds the trust, it builds the reputation, it gives more added layer of security and safety, which is a win-win situation for any enterprises. Now let's come to the predictive analysis. As in the second point, I discussed about the ability to inject the data and get meaningful insights, not only when it comes to the static data, but we can train the model using that data, and we can forecast the things with the data, and that too with a great accuracy, not just simple accuracy. So this was the features. These were the features when we talked about from the Azure AI infrastructure as a service perspective, where user can come and leverage the power and then build the things on their own. Now let's come to some platform as a services. Azure Open AI Video Indexer. Now this seems to be a very general or interesting term to me, and you must be wondering that this is a session on media and entertainment, and we are talking about software and all those things. So those were general things. Now let's talk something about platform as a service. So we have a service at Azure AI with video indexer. You can give your video or you can parse your video. It will get parsed through the AI video indexer. And while your video is getting parsed, it is being analyzed by 30 plus AI models which had been there, and they had been under development or under research since many times. Now you might say, Varun, okay, my data was analyzed with 30 plus models. What are the features? Why should I wait, or why should I use? What is the feature? Now I'll tell you something superb. It has a feature of deep search. What you can do is, once you have passed your data, you can ask him the questions. Okay, this was the thing, this was the video. Now tell me the time, or tell me the conversation which was happening between this character and this character. It remembers the name by the audio to video, audio to text feature. It converts the dialogues into the words or whatsoever is happening behind the scenes, but it remembers, okay, he's the one and he's the one. What was the conversation happened with both of them? At what location are they planning to meet? Also, it has the facility to detect your face detection algorithms. OCR are happening there. So you can ask, okay, what was the time? How many times did they meet? Don't you think this is crazy that it is analyzing the data and keeping note of each and everything what happened in this video? This is one of the aspect which could be used. Now every aspect is followed by monetization. How can I monetize it? How is it useful to me when it comes to the monetary fund? Because that's the base for any organization or any individual whosoever is building a product or providing any kind of service. So now Azure AI Video Indexer can help you to increase the value of the videos. For example, industries that rely on ad revenue, news and media, social media, and whatnot, you can provide relevant ad by extracting the insights. Who consumed my video? What was the maximum span? What were the things? What kind of ad should I provide, and to which kind of person? Let's say I have a adventurous site. I take people on trekking. So now if I'm posing that thing to a 60 plus years of age group person, or to a 55 plus age group, that might not yield me a revenue. But if you are providing that to a person who is in the age group of 20 to 30, that might give you more conversion of your employees or more clicks and brings to your website. So this can help you in this way. Second, it can help you in the video recommendation. Okay, these are the folks which are interacting with you more. Like, my video is being seen more in the Indian region or the Asian region or the American region or the UK or Europe region, and from there you can get the insights, and then you can deliver the content for the specific audience, so that there can be better engagement, or you can improve upon the content for engaging the other audience as well. That brings me to the last point, which is recommendation. Video insights can be helpful to improve user engagement by highlighting the relevant video moment to the user. You can also analyze, okay, this is the place, and what is the time span, or what is the focus span when the audience is looking into this. Like, we just go through it. If we like it, okay. If don't, we just scroll it. So that might be useful for us as a content creator or as an enterprise who is there. Now, let me bring to you a very interesting topic. This is really great. Most of us had played video games in our childhood, or most of us play the video games today also. We all are very familiar with the Xbox, the PS5 machines, and GTA 6 and whatnot. There are many apps, and a very famous one which was PUBG, later renamed as BGMI. Now I'll be talking about PlayFab. What exactly PlayFab is? PlayFab is a complete backend platform for live games with managed game services, real-time analytics, and live ops. Live ops means live operation. Can you imagine? Azure is saying that you do not need your system or premises for games as well. Come to me and I'll provide you with a complete set of things. Just have a subscription, come to me and start one click, and you are ready to go with the deployment of your game. And now the users can use your game and they can play your game. Now, for the rest of the slides, we'll be understanding the things from the perspective of PlayFab or with an example of PUBG. Now let's go. Now let's understand what are the features. Let's say I have a game, and now I am a game developer, or I am an organization which have developed some kind of game. I want that I can host it somewhere so that the public can come and use it. Now it is a very difficult task for me to set up my whole on-premise system, come up with each and everything, and put a lot of upfront money. I do not have that much of investment. I do not have that much of infrastructure, that much of place to host my servers, to maintain the electricity, to maintain the cooling units, to maintain the electricity outrages, and hundreds of other things which are there. One stops functioning, other is stopped functioning. So that might create a very chaotic experience for the users, and which might pose a very bad image in front of the audience. I do not want it. What should I do? I should go to the Azure and say, okay, this is my game. These are the settings which I want to, and give the main code or main application of my code of my gaming and give it to Azure. It will automatically deploy on whatsoever. You have the flexibility to deploy it on multiple regions, that this game has to be played in Europe, UK, South Asia, Central Asia, and all over the world. They had quite few and decent number of regions, 20 plus regions, where one can come and go. What are the features, first of all, provided by this? First of all, which I have not mentioned, but yet a very important feature, low latency, which I have covered indirectly by saying that there are multiple regions. So you can host it in multiple regions and users can play the game without having a much lag. Like we do not like when the lag comes in the PUBG, when we are firing on another person and a lag comes and our bullet is not being recorded but his bullet gets shot, right? So that's a really bad experience. We do not want it. We want very low latency and smooth game should happen. So that is possible. Second thing, cross network identity and data. When I remember when we used to play this game, we were part of other teams. There used to be a squad. If I play a squad game, if there is a space of one person in the squad, I was automatically attached to that squad, and now I can play the game with them. It doesn't matter that they are from my locality, my city, my state, or my country. They can be around the world. So that functionality is also there. You do not need to worry. It can be handled in Azure PlayFab service. Second, multiplayer games. Again, we have the facility that the game can be played by multiplayers and not just by the bot and the person himself. Third thing, chat. Again, an important feature. Everyone used to chat that please revive me, please give me the ammo for 4.5, M14, and whatnot. Okay. Another thing, leaderboard and statistics, which we used to get after the finishing of the game, that this was the damage which I made, this was the leadership, how many kills do I made, how many, what was the damage I provided, and other things as well. What was the damage I received? All these are the things, statistics which are recorded, which are stored, which are provided to user, and the leaderboard are created on basis of all these factors. And live operations, the developer teams or the infrastructure team of that game can sit, they can log in. They do not need to have a separate dashboard altogether. They can come up, use the dashboard provided by the Azure AI services, and use it to understand the analytics, what is happening. If there is a spike, any spike in any particular region, they can spin up other instances to cater the increased demand. Or they can auto scale that, okay, there is an increase in demand right now, so I can increase the demand and I can decrease it when the things are normal, right? So these are all the features which are there, and one can go and use the services if they are from the gaming background. Like this was the thing which I wanted to focus, that AI is not just limited to IT sector or just to software engineering or anything. It has expanded its arms to each and every vertical, each and every horizontal, whether it be marketing, sales, gaming, beauty, fashion, tracking, adventure. Everything has been covered. Everything is now there, and everyone is using AI. Last but not the least, I would like to focus on Azure Service Fabric, which is a very interesting service which Azure has come up with. Service Fabric is actually an open source thing which is provided. Now let's start. Now let's try to understand this with a bit of a story. That what exactly is a service? Okay, I say that okay, I want to start, I want to launch a product, or I want to start a company, or I'm a software developer, or let's say I'm the one who wants to introduce one product to the world right now. So I come up, I build the business logic, I have everything right now. I do not have the expertise of infrastructure and all of those things. So what is the traditional ways that I get someone who is having a very interesting knowledge of all these things, and then he guides me and tells me what to do. Varun, you should go with this thing, you should use this service and all those things. And then I hire someone and they provide me with the implementation. Okay, I'll spin up these machines, then I'll debug them, I will provide the logging, I will store them, I will create a database and all those things. So now it's a problematic thing. First of all, when it comes to money, when it comes to time, second most important thing, first most important thing, it takes lots of time, lots of understanding. It's a pain point for the person who is not a technical person. Let's assume a person from the sales background is coming and now he has zero idea about the infrastructure. And in the organizations, trust me, infrastructure is the most costly thing when it comes to the complete expenditure of the organization. From the smallest to the biggest organization, the infrastructure cost is the most significant cost which is happening. So now no company wants that. What Service Fabric says is that if you are a business leader or if you are a developer, focus on your product, on your business logic, on your application building. Forget about the infrastructure, forget about the reliance, forget about the reliability of your product. How long will my website be there? What if some kind of fault occurs? What if server goes down? What if I need to auto scale? Just leave everything up to the Azure AI, Azure itself, and they have a service which is Service Fabric. They have solutions. You can come up to them, you can go, you can use. They are open source, and then you can provide the solution. It will provide you with the solutions. Let's go on to the next slide. What are the features which Azure Service Fabric is providing? First of all, it is simplifying building and managing the microservices application. In today's world, nobody is no if someone is building a new tech, nobody is working on monolith. If there are some legacy products which are there in our company as well, the companies are spending lot and lot of money to transform that monolith application to microservices. Now that's a very very tedious task, and monolith is very difficult to manage, and it's not very favorable thing in today's era. So everyone wants to go with the microservices architecture where each and every service is doing its job and they're communicating. Second most important thing is time to market. We are living in the era where the things need to be very very fast. We have competitors for each and everything, whether whatsoever may be the product, there is a competitor. And to keep your audience loyal, to keep them using your product, you need to have innovations each and every moment, each and every second. There might be some regulatory compliances. RBI has said something, government changed its policies, there might be some change from the leadership or from the boards, directors and whatnot. There can be many things, you need to change the things, and to change the things, plus change the things and bring the innovation in less time, or in less time than your competitors, is very important when it comes to today's world. That is what we mean by saying fast time to market, T2M. TTM should be really low. If uh, the impact of TTM is that more the TTM, less the engagement of the audience and less the revenue is there. So no company wants that their revenue goes down, and the audience is not very loyal when it comes to many things. They want, nowadays people don't have time and time to spend on the apps which are outdated or which are not providing plenty services. They instantly download and everything is very quick. We have internet facilities, we download it, switch to other pieces, and just change it. Second important thing, container and service orchestration. When I say that everyone is working on microservices, that goes without saying that microservices are automatically being built and being deployed on container and service orchestration. What I mean by container is that most of the applications are containerized. Most famous tool is Docker, which is being used. Others are also there by Red Hat, Podman, and other tools as well. So microservices are there, then we can surely say that they are being containerized and there must be some kind of orchestrator. Orchestrator is a simple, in simple terms, is that there are plenty of containers, 10 20 containers are running, and there must be someone to manage all those containers. What if I said that there must be 20 containers up all the time, but some kind of fault occurred in one of the container? What if it switched off immediately or due to some reason? But that might impact my audience. They might not be able to reach my website, they might not be able to use my product, or they might not be able to shop. That ultimately impacts two things. First is the revenue, my product was not sold. Second thing is reputation, the website went down. I was trying to access the thing, but it didn't work. It was very laggy. I didn't receive the response from them in a quick time. It was taking too long time to load again and again. Nobody wants that, right? So we want that our system is resilient. So for that we have Kubernetes, which is again an open source thing, which is the most common tool or the most famous tool, I must say, for the service orchestration in same environment. So these were some of the features, and all these can be maintained and can be used by Azure Service Fabric. So if one is there, one needs to understand they must explore this feature. Now I would like to share some of the important resources which one can do. There is no prior experience required. One more important thing, that Azure is really generous when it comes to the using or to help users understand better that if these are the services which one should use. They provide free credits to the organizations. Like, organizations can go to Azure that, okay, we are right now starting up, we are a very young organization, we are recently starting, we do not have much of the fund to invest on the infrastructure. As I already mentioned, that infrastructure is a very costly thing when it comes to the entire expenditure of the organization. They can go. Microsoft Azure have its own programs which are running there for the startups, like Azure for startups and all those things. You need to fill a simple Google form, a simple form which is there, and that is submitted to the team, and then the team reverts you to understand better what your product is, what is the POC you have done, and all those things. And after that, they are ready to give you credits from $100 to $1,000, and that too on regular monthly basis or something of that sort. So isn't that crazy? You are getting such a huge amount. $1,000 is almost 80,000 rupees of money, which we are getting per month. Per month, 80,000 is not a small amount of money if we have an organization or we want to start with that. So that's an interesting thing. We should definitely adopt to it. And now this was from the features which were provided. Now there might be a question that, is it worth it to go with the AI field, or should I go with the engineering field, or should I go with the whatsoever maybe the technical niche you are building, let's say data analytics or data science, or I want to be a web developer, I want to be a I want to be a DevOps engineer, and there are many other verticals which are there. So will learning AI help me? The answer would be yes. Like I tried to cover, and I emphasized on one thing, that AI is not limited to just technical perspective. It has expanded, and it has penetrated to each and every market segment, to each and every niche which we have in today. Whether you want to be a data analytics expert, you need to have AI tools. No company is having time, and now no company wants that there would be 3 to 5 weeks which are taking for analysis, or the for getting the data insights. There are tools available. There are I remember the tool Data Robot. You provide him with the CSV which you have. I remember when I used to learn machine learning, there were certain things which we need to do. Is, first of all, we need to analyze the data set which I have. Okay, this what are the important things? These are not important things. Let's drop them. Now this is important. In this important thing, there might be a very common chance that I do not have proper data in it. The values are missing. I need to fill them, and most common was we taking out average or randomly filling some values. But that was also hindering things, and that was not really a cool way to go with the things. Today we have things in such a way that you give the complete CSV, no need to change any data, no need to remove the unnecessary column. The model will itself understand that this is necessary or not. And trust me, if you'll pick up something from the Kaggle, which is a very famous website for machine learning and the data science persons, where people contribute that this is my learning, this is the thing which I did in the 3 months, and this was the prediction or this was the success percentage which I got. And you give this data to the AI things, and they are building the things for you within few minutes, let's say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or at max 30 minutes. The accuracy, the prediction, the success ratio is more than that. Can you imagine? In just few minutes, in just few clicks, you do not need to go with the Python and write all those codes, all those algorithms, test each and everything, and then come up with the data, and that too static one. What if there is a requirement that I want to again and again train my model? Okay, this was the change which I made in this service, I need to provide it. That might be a tedious task when it comes to manual effort and all those things. All these things have been automated. Bring it, inject the data, and it will come up with the beautiful insights for you. It will provide dashboard, it will provide charts, and each and everything. They can be presented to the people. They can be used for internal audit purposes, internal decision makings, and many other services which we have, and will help us to land at the decisions at a very faster rate whatsoever. And today we were discussing, we, by we I mean anyone in the industry, whenever there is any kind of discussion happening around any product, whether it be creating a product from the scratch or optimizing the product or building something on top of that product, AI is a buzzword. Everyone wants that. Okay, this, what if we can integrate AI? How can we integrate AI? Why should not we integrate AI and do the things faster? Not just from the perspective of development, but in development also we want something in AI. When it comes to products, let's say I'll give you an example. There is a very huge demand of, there is a very huge support tickets which are being raised regularly. Now support teams are there and they are doing their best, level best, to solve them. But what if we can integrate some kind of AI to give them the answer, or to give the answer of the redundant questions, the questions which keep on coming, and the person has to do the things manually. There are price negotiations happening. A person is requesting requesting price raise, that price negotiations, that this, the price which you are charging from me is more, and I'm not satisfied, I want to negotiate on this price. Now what happens is that the person raises the ticket, then the company gives 2 to 3 options to him which are pre-built or something of that kind. This is an example which I am giving to you. Then again he says no, this is also not what I want, and then also a ticket is raised, and that reaches to the analyst or to someone from the team, and then he himself goes, extracts the data about the company. What is the gross market value, what is GMV, what is the revenue, how big is this merchant, what is the customer base, does analysis, uh, escalates the issue to his seniors or the above team, and then gets the approval or disapproval, and then the response is sent. This is a long chain of process. It might not be, you might not be able to relate when I'm speaking, but yes, it takes time. It takes a lot of time, and that is a really bad experience. Yes, right now, till now, it was okay because no one was doing it. But as I told you, time to market is really important. The competitors are working really fast for the fight to capture the customers and the merchants. So you need to be very, very fast. What if we can integrate some kind of system? What if we can create some kind of chatbot type of things where the person is giving his query there itself, and we are analyzing it on the backend, or asking the AI to fetch the data and say that if this is in this, what is your prediction? Should we go or not? How will it impact us? What will there be any kind of impact from the revenue which we are getting, or it will help us by getting more revenue, more engagement, or whatnot? So that's going to be something really crazy. Everyone is using, in whatsoever field you are, whether it be technical, in technical, whatsoever vertical you are choosing, in horizontal, in whatsoever vertical you are, everything is today driven by data, and data is being predicted very accurately by AI, and AI has use case for each and everything. We like, I'm very sure that everyone is using AI twice or thrice in his daily use cases. And this is just the starting of the AI era. We are yet to proceed and go a lot more ahead. So that brings me to the end of this discussion. And yeah, thank you very much. I know this was a very basic session, but if you want a deep dive, surely ping it to the Azure developer community, and we will arrange a live demo or something of that sort as well. So thank you very much.